If you're like us, then you love a good horror movie. But have you ever watched a film and been left wondering what ever happened to that creepy little kid they cast? Maybe there was a dog trying to eat them, or perhaps they were crawling out of the television. In any event, those horror movie kids all grew up, and they look a lot different than they did all those years ago. Danny Lloyd. Redrum. The Shining is a classic horror movie that gets referenced all the time in pop culture. In addition to Jack Nicholson's memorable role as Jack Torrance, the little boy Danny plays quite an integral role throughout. Today, Danny Lloyd is all grown up, and instead of living in haunted hotels, he's tried his hands at teaching and pig farming. Chloe Grace Moretz. The 2005 Amityville Horror was a remake of the original, but still creeped us out thanks to Chelsea Lutz's ability to see and talk to people who aren't actually there. This spine-chilling little girl was played by Chloe Grace Moretz. 12 years later, she looks a lot different and is very busy with acting gigs. Miko Hughes. You'll never look at small children the same way after watching Pet Sematary. In it, we get creeped out by Miko Hughes, who plays the role of Gage Creed, a boy brought back to life and sent on a murderous rampage. Today, Hughes has stopped his fiendish giggling and put down the scalpel to take up beekeeping and appearances at film conventions. Emily Browning. In 2002, audiences watched as Katie Harwood's spirit became stuck on a mysterious ship thanks to a murderous, demonic henchman. Ghost Ship was a fairly meh movie, but Emily Brown's performance as Katie had people wondering what she's up to today. Well, as you can see, she's all grown up and looks a lot different. Davi Chase. With her scowling face covered in wet black hair, Davi Chase terrified audiences when she crawled out of the television in The Ring. Yes, that performance had us wondering just how evil VHS tapes could be. Today, Chase continues to act, model, and looks a lot different from her character of Samara. Alex Vincent. In the 80s, all our childhood nightmares came true when the murderous little Chucky doll came to life in Child's Play. On-screen character Andy Barclay found this out firsthand. Andy was played by Alex Vincent. You can imagine that 29 years later, he'd look a lot different. Well, we have the pictures to prove it. Jodelle Ferland. She's made a habit of starring in creepy films, but Jodelle Ferland really came to everyone's attention when she starred in Silent Hill. It was then she took on the role of Alessa Gillespie, a sinister and evil little girl. Well, as you can see, today she's not so sinister and looks quite a bit different. Seamus Davey Fitzpatrick. Damien Thorne was a character who was pure evil. Likely because he was the spawn of the devil, everywhere Damien went in the film The Omen, tragedy followed. While he played this creepy little kid when he was just 8 years old, Seamus Davey Fitzpatrick neither looks nor acts like this demon child today. Phew, thank goodness. Carrie Han. Alright, so Aliens was technically a sci-fi film, but it was also mostly a horror. Mostly. That's why we're including Newt in this clip. Many people lost track of Carrie Han after she played the lone survivor of the alien-infested planet. Well, we found her, and she's definitely cleaned herself up since playing Newt. Ivana Bakker. Who can forget how terrifying and nerve-wracking that scene with Pale Man from Pan's Labyrinth was? If only Ophelia hadn't eaten those grapes, those two fairies would still be alive. The role of Ophelia was played by 10-year-old Ivana Bakker. This now 20-something Spanish actress is all grown up and still in the industry. Linda Blair. In 1973, audiences were terrified by The Exorcist and introduced to Regan McNeil, the possessed little girl that has us all looking at pea soup differently. Regan was played by Linda Blair, an American actress who has since had a long and productive career. Danny Pintero. He's best known for his role as Jonathan on Who's the Boss. In 1983, Danny Pintero was also known as Tad Trenton, a kid trapped in a car thanks to a rabid dog named Cujo. Pintero still makes sporadic appearances on TV and has long since abandoned the bowl-style haircut that he sported as Tad. Lindsey Hahn. In 1995, a group of pasty, white-haired, evil kids tried to take over a town in Village of the Damned. Led by Mara Chafee, they thankfully failed. Today, Mara is better known as Lindsey Hahn, a 30-something American actress who looks a lot different and has remained very active in Hollywood. Haley Joel Osment. The modern-day gold standard for child horror actors. In 1999, Haley Joel Osment could see dead people, and it had us glued to the screen while watching The Sixth Sense. This dark film had quite the twist, just like Osment's career. He's no longer that cute kid, but he's still working away in Hollywood. Isabelle Fuhrman. Released in 2009, the horror film Orphan was handed mixed reviews. In all likelihood, the acting of Isabelle Fuhrman salvaged an otherwise average film. Fuhrman creeped out audiences playing the psychotic and murderous Esther. 8 years on, this 20-year-old American actress has grown up and looks quite a bit less intimidating. So, which child horror star looks the most different today? Which horror films are your favorites? Tell us in the comments, and be sure to check out all of our other entertaining and fun videos. Don't forget to subscribe before you head off to your next viewing adventure. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.